What is up, everyone? Today I am making a video about why I started on a 600cc motorcycle as opposed to like a 300 400 bike. Start from the beginning. I have always loved motorcycles. Loved them. I grew up riding dirt bikes and mountain bikes, and I've just always loved bikes in general. I got my first dirt bike when I was like 6 years old. It was an old SSR 110 pit bike. That was a good bike. I loved it. And then I got a KLX 125 and then stopped riding for a while, and eventually I have a KX 250, which is what I have now. I've just always loved motorcycles. I love the sound, love the speed. They're just amazing. They're the best thing ever. And when I was 16, as soon as I turned 16, I asked my parents over and over again if I could get my motorcycle license. And at first, they were obviously very against it, as most parents are. But I was finally able to convince them that I would be safe on one. I'll make another video about that, about how I was able to convince them, and about all the facts I used and to back up my argument. But so my first bike I ever got was a Yamaha FZ6R. I believe it was a 2009. And that bike was perfect for me. I loved that bike. It had enough power for me, but it wasn't torquey. Dang, I hate being in between cars like this. The bike was perfect. It was fast enough. It was a 600, so it wasn't very powerful at low end, but high end it had enough speed. But it didn't have enough power to wheelie, so I wasn't scared I was going to loop it or anything. In my opinion, it was a perfect beginner bike for me. Later though, I sold that bike to my older brother who wanted to get into riding, and he wasn't as experienced as me. He didn't ride dirt bikes as much as me. It wasn't the power of the bike. I think that if he had a slower bike, there would be there would have been no difference. He ended up crashing that bike twice. I'll show pictures of it. Really, both times he high-sided it, and it could possibly be because the bike was just too fast for him, but he just wasn't skilled enough at cornering and braking, and he just locked the rear brake up both times and skidded and then high-sided it, and dented up the gas tank pretty good both times. I think, in my opinion, what he needs is a new bike. The bike that I had, the FZ6R, was 2009, and it had no electronics, no ABS, no traction control, nothing. So obviously with newer bikes like that, it's much better for newer riders because you don't have to worry about locking the brakes up and stuff. A bike like that would have been much better for him. And you can buy faster bikes, like you can buy an R6 that has ABS and all that stuff. I think the R6 has a little bit more power than the FZ6 though. So if you were going to get a bike, if you can handle the power of a 600, go for it. If you're a little sketched out, first time ever riding, you've never ridden before, get something a little smaller. Get like a Ninja 400. I believe that is also a great beginner bike. Still has plenty of power for you to learn up to, and the newer ones you can get ABS, traction control, all the power modes. But if you can handle a 600, definitely go for a 600. That bike, the FZ6R, was perfect for me. It was low to the ground, so it was easy to balance. Never dropped it once. It was easy to corner with. The power was very easy to handle for me. I know beginners, if they're not used to a powerful bike like that, you can whiskey throttle it, and that's just not good. This is all based on my opinion. For me, that bike was perfect. I loved that bike. Super good beginner bike. The person I bought it from, because it is originally a full fairing bike, but the guy I bought it from had stripped it of all its fairings, so he made it into like a naked bike, kind of Street Fighter-ish. And that bike was my baby for 8 months, 7 months. I'm 18 now, so I've been riding for a year, a little over a year. I've been riding now, year and a half. Right now I'm riding an FZ09. I sold the FZ6R to my brother, and then I bought a FZ07, 2015 FZ07, and then I got a little bit taller. I love that bike too. I think that was probably my favorite bike I've ever had. Just the sound of it was so good, and the looks and the power. I could wheelie that thing so well. It was so easy to balance. But I got a little taller as I got older, and I just grew out of it. The power was good, but the seat height was just so low. So I sold it and I bought this, the 2014 FZ09. And let me tell you, the power is phenomenal. And the seat height is higher, so it's more comfortable. I've taken this bike to a track day once. I love it. I'm not really sure what bike I want to get next, but so far this is good for me. It's a good bike to just put around on the twisties and through traffic, because it's light and it's comfortable, good upright seating position. But anyways, back to the 600s. It's really up to you. I know people always say don't even think about riding a 600, or definitely not a 1000 for your first bike. For me, if I got into 1000, it probably wouldn't have been a good idea. The fastest bike I've ever ridden was 450 dirt bike. It was a WR 450, and that was the fastest bike I've ridden before the 600. And I don't know what I was gonna say. It's really up to you. Advice for me: if you've had experience riding dirt bikes, get a bigger bike. That, in the long run, a bigger bike would be better for you, because that way you don't have to immediately sell. Oh wow, someone went right through that fence. Dang. That way, if you bought like a 300, you wouldn't grow out of it immediately. I wanted the FZ07 to be my first bike. I wanted that bike the most, but I just couldn't afford it at the time. I bought the FZ6R for like 3,400 bucks. It was a super good deal in my opinion. I think it had, let me think, it had like 12,000 miles on it. And for the 7 months that I owned that bike, I put like 8,000 miles on it. So I love to ride that bike. I'm gonna pass this person. It's a little wet, so I'm gonna be sketchy around these corners. I'm also not wearing my full suit. If you have the background of riding bikes, riding dirt bikes, and you think you're comfortable enough to ride a sport bike basically, then definitely go for it. Get a 600. It was definitely the best decision I could have made, besides the FZ07, but I couldn't really afford that. I took because I was only 16 years old. In California, you have to take the motorcycle class. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a 2 to 3 day class where they teach you the basics of riding and the rules of the law, and like what side of the lane you should ride on depending on what conditions. And then you also get to ride motorcycles too, and they teach you how to use the clutch and corner and all that stuff. And it was really helpful for me. I'm glad I took the classes. Obviously I had to, but it was good. And then definitely, if you're a beginner, I definitely recommend taking those courses. I took the riding course through a Harley Davidson dealership, and they were super cool. I had a really good time there down in Sacramento, but they all wanted me to buy Harleys after that course, and I wanted a sport bike, and so I researched a bunch. I had never even heard of an FZ6R. I was just researching for used bikes in that CC area, 700, 600, 500. Mainly looking for FC07s that were under 5 grand. But I found the FC6R for 3,400 bucks, and it was perfect. Well, anyways, guys, take those rider courses if you're a beginner. That way you can really tell, and the coaches will tell you too, if you're a good rider or not. If you really think you can handle a 600 or even a 1000, then definitely go for it. That's what I did. It worked out fine for me. Obviously, my brother didn't work out as well, but he wasn't as an adequate rider as me. So if you can afford it as a beginner, definitely get a bike that comes with ABS and track control and all that, because that can definitely save you at times. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoy. I'm probably gonna make another video. What's up, Parlor Bro? I kind of go ride with him. I'm probably gonna make another video about how I convinced my parents to let me to get my motorcycle license. It's a little wet around these turns. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I'm kind of all over the place when I talk, but hopefully it was okay. This is my first ever moto vlog ever. I got a new Hero 10 for Christmas and a microphone, so I'm hoping to make more moto vlogs like this. It's me just messing around and talking to the camera. Okay, Grandpa, you can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you did. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments, what I should do next, what stuff I should do, and yeah, peace.